has become the nation's PE teacher, has broken a world record, has been awarded an MBE whilst all staying at home. Didn't even have to leave the house to do any of it.
But if that wasn't enough, Joe Wicks has now released his very own first children's book, and here it is. He joins us today. This is called The Burpee Bears, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I was just going through it. Look at this animation.
Yeah, lovely.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's
I'm really proud of that.
absolutely stunning.
It's beautiful, isn't it? So I've got the wonderful illustrator Paul Howard who visualised and brought them to life. It's basically like me. If you look at the bear, he's got a little top knot, you know, it looks like me, and it's kind of based on a modern-day family who, you know, it's about getting outside and exercising and that connection between movement and our mental health and how we feel. So it's really everything I believe in and I talk about on social media and through YouTube in a children's book format.
Where'd the idea come from, Joe? When did you decide to do it?
Well, it was one of these opportunities that, you know, PE with Joe was such a success. You know, 100 million people took part, and I never planned for that, I never predicted that was going to happen, but obviously my publisher said, you know, would you like to do a children's book? So I had this kind of idea and this concept of a family of bears, because they're quite anatomical, because they can do lunges and squats and they can ride bikes and things. So came up with the concept and the characters, and I had an amazing writing partner called Vivian French who helped me come up with the story, and I'm just really proud of it. It's got a lovely, you know, positive message that you're going to enjoy reading to your children. And at the back of the book, there's a couple of workouts, so there's like a mini kind of wake-up routine and a wind-down routine and a few little recipes that you can do with the kids. So it's really...
This is like a cookbook, exercise book and children's book all in one.
All in one.
It's a bit of a hybrid, but I wanted it to be practical. So the story's obviously... It's an evergreen story you can read over and over again all year round, but at the back, you know, if you want to get your kids involved in cooking, I'm just so passionate about that. So they're really basic things like veggie burgers and, you know, fruit salad and a little kind of banana pancakes, but it's practical, and I've already seen kids yesterday, you know, making them with their parents, so it's a really lovely concept to add that into a children's story.
You're going to do more, aren't you? So
yeah,
you thought about what your stories are going to be.
So now I've come up with the bears. So basically, this is about a family of bears, and obviously I'm the daddy bear. You know, always up in the morning, super energetic, trying to get everyone up, you know, and I'm making breakfast and I'm trying to get the kids out of the house on an adventure, because sometimes the kids want to just watch TV and, you know, they want to be on their phones and that, and I'm like, come on, let's go out on a big adventure. And by the end of the day, they're all, you know, really energised, they're all really happy. There's a little moment at the end where they say, you know, what did you love the most about today? And they've all got their little kind of things that they remembered. So it's really a positive thing to kind of inspire. I just want to get kids thinking about that connection between moving their bodies and feeling good. And I had that from such a young age. I really connected with that, and it was always my coping mechanism for feeling stressed and feeling tired and anxious, and so that's what I'm trying to promote with this.
It's interesting, that, isn't it? Because it feels like naturally that's what children want to do. So do you just think, like, as the years have gone by, generations have gone by, we've all become a bit more sedentary. That's just what's happened with children, because naturally children do want to exercise and jump around.
When they're doing it, they love it.
I think it's just, you know, it's technology, isn't it, as well? You know, with the creation of iPads and like, you know, things on demand, there's just so much content that can distract us and make us sedentary. So I'm aware of that. I don't really fight and resist it too much. I use the platform. So I've just done an amazing series of workouts with Hey Dougie, like kids' cartoon workouts, you know, to get preschoolers moving. And same with, you know, with Instagram and with social media. You can use it to kind of disrupt it and actually get people moving. So for me, it was with Lean in 15 and with the YouTube workout. So I got people on YouTube moving every day, and it's the same with this book. It's hopefully going to be a lovely story you can read. At the end of it, you know, do a few stretches, touch your toes, lay down and think of something happy. You know, it's a really lovely book.
Do your kids love this book? Have you read it to them?
So I got a copy about a month ago, and I've obviously been reading it every single day to the kids. And
what do they think?
Now they know what's coming, they can predict what's happening. There's a little bit of drama. So they're out making a rocket and, you know, out in the woods, and it starts to chuck it down, and they've got to, like, build this rocket and hide in the rocket and stay safe, and then they cook their dinner under the stars, and at the end of it, you know, Mummy Bear says, you know, what have you loved the most about today? And the kid's like, oh, you know, I love doing our little exercise, and the other one's like, I love building our rocket. So it's little things I just teach my kids, because we sit down and I say, Indy, what are you grateful for? And she might be like, I'm grateful for my peas, or Marley might, you know, I'm grateful for walking in the park. So I just like that. Someone gave me that idea once, so every time we have dinner, I say, tell me something great that happened today, what are you grateful for? And these little things, you know, when you do it, it just gives you that nice feeling. Yeah, it's nice.
When you read it to your kids, after a while, they're like, all right, Dad, give us the cat, you know?
Well, they're not bored of it. I've been rinsing it, but I read it last night to them, and they're more excited to get to the back of it and do the exercises. So,
nice.
Indy, I've taught her, she's nailed a burpee, so she's got the perfect technique of a burpee, which is hilarious.
Burpee is like one of the hardest exercises.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Just doing one is a killer. But honestly, what I love about you, though, Joe, is the fact that you always are in acts of service. You always want to help others, and you have helped so many people in lockdown with people's mental health, with the exercise. What is it that drives you to do that?
Well, I'm really glad you say that, and I feel like my motivation in life comes from helping people. I've always got a buzz, whether it's even went back in the day as a personal trainer, like just one-to-one. If I helped you get in shape or helped you overcome an anxiety or depression, I love that feeling. So I've just done that on a bigger scale with P, with Joe and my YouTube content. But I'm the happiest when I connect to that, when I read DMs and I reply to people and I'm interacting with people who are really using my recipes and workouts. It makes me so happy. So, I mean, that's the whoopee cushion one you're seeing there. You know what happened at your fart gate?
You trumped, didn't you? You did something. You went live on air.
I'm sure you know what it's like when you sit down and try and let one out. You're about to go live and you think it's going to get muffled by the sofa bit. They can hear it and someone heard it and it went all over the world. But, yeah, I'll never live that down.
It's a natural thing to do, darling. It's a natural thing to do.
Especially when you're about to do crunches and, you know, lunge jumps and burpees. You've got to make sure it's done. But I didn't know I was live, so I've obviously squeezed it out before and it was buffering on YouTube and it went live. Sorry about that.
What has been your favourite book to write? I mean, obviously, I know you like this one, but out of all your books, what's been your favourite? I
mean, obviously, this has got a fond part in my heart, but for me, the first one, the Lean in 15, the Red Book, you know, I call it Little Red, like a steam train. It just kept on growing and like people all over the world were using it. So that kind of changed my life, that book. You know, it really took me from Instagram to a household name to having that book on people's shelves.
Joe, Lean in 15 is fantastic. I've used it loads.
Oh, really? Have you used that one?
Brilliant book. Really good.
I love that, yeah. I love that. Because I was learning, I thought, I want to learn how to do this properly. So I got with an amazing nutritionist called Charlotte who helped me.
Great, isn't she?
And she kind of guided me through that process. But yeah, that's the thing, like, I just wanted to do it right and share. When I learn something, I just want to share it. So with the weaning or with, you know, with something about mental health, I've just filmed a documentary about mental health.
Yeah, with Louis Theroux's company.
It was, yeah, man, it was intense. Like, I thought, oh, I don't have any issues. I can deal with all this. I'm fine. But when I started interviewing my mum and dad and going back to my childhood, it brought up so much stuff, and it was like therapy for me. But I know in that content, in that episode, that documentary it's gonna help someone who's struggling.
You've always been quite honest with your mental health and things like that. When I saw some videos of you online, and I just love the fact that you have been open and honest about that.
Yeah.
Because people resonate with that.
Yeah.
I think it's good to show vulnerability. It's not a weakness, you know, being open and having a little cry, you know, you feel better. Like, when you're a toddler and you cry, you feel better when you're an adult. And I think the more we can communicate, and that's what this book's about. It's about family, it's about communicating, it's about being there for each other and not, you know, it's not just about burpees and, like, exercise, it's about how you feel as a family when you do something together, whether it's cooking, whether it's making a camp, whether it's, you know, getting outside. And I truly believe that. I believe that we can really have moments around cooking that, I know it's a stressful thing, but you can have a fun time cooking, you can have, you know, exercising can be fun together, and I love it. So that's my first book. But yeah, I want to take them around the world. I'm going to go Burpee Bears in the US, take them scuba diving in Australia, you know, get them on motorbikes.
How's that cold water therapy going for you?
Oh, the ice bath?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got into the whole Wim Hof, like, breathing and ice cold showers, and I thought, I want to take it to the next level, so I got an ice machine and a bath
Oh,
in
my goodness,
garden.
look at that.
I did a swim yesterday in 17. Outside.
17 degrees?
Yeah,
Was it cold?
So that water gets to about 2 or 3 degrees.
I
love
How long are you there for?
My PB is 10 minutes, but I do about...
10 minutes?
Yeah, that was pushing it, but I do 3 to 5 minutes. But I tell you what, it's not just a physical thing about my body, it's my mind. I feel so calm and I feel, like, mad energised afterwards, so... Yeah. Give it a go. Start with cold showers, 30 seconds, in cold, out cold, and you see how good you feel afterwards.
Well, listen, it's an absolute pleasure seeing you. MBE, you've got a new book out. He's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Bears,
and happy birthday for your birthday. That's just gone as well.
Yeah, I turned 36 the other day. Got stranded out at sea on my jet boards. Did you hear about that? No. I've got these jet-powered surfboards.
Yeah.
I was out down in Dorset, whizzing through Durdle, having the time of my life with Rosie, my wife. I was like, I'm so happy, this is amazing. And then I got the engine wet, basically the spark plug got wet, and I couldn't start it up. So Rosie went off to save me, like, to get someone, and this boat came past, this little, like, dinghy, and they were waving at me, and I said, guys, like... And they
I need help.
I said, help me. So basically, they spend their lives, they're wonderful guys, they clean the beaches in the Jurassic Coast of plastic and stuff, and you can imagine how funny it was for them to pick me up. They've gone, we didn't plan on picking you out of the sea today, but, you know...
I'm glad they picked you up, Joe.
Is that where you live down there?
No, I live in Virginia Water, but I just went down there for 2 days with Rosie, but they're called the Jurassic Coast Cleanup gang, and it's like guys that just do it in their own time, clean the beaches and keep it clean. So I said, can you imagine rescuing me? How much of a mad day that was for them.
You're amazing. Joe, thank you so much.
Joe.
The book is out.
Thanks, guys.
It's going to be
Hope you enjoy it.
amazing.